Your life changes the moment you decide it should. Not when someone else gives you permission, not when the stars align, not when the economy improves. Right now, this very second, the instant you make that powerful decision to take full responsibility for everything in your life. I want to talk to you about something so fundamental, yet so often overlooked. Something that separates the successful from those who struggle their entire lives. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not who you know. It's about where you place your focus. Most people spend their whole lives focused on everything but themselves. They focus on the government, the economy, their boss, their spouse, their parents, their neighbors. They've got a list a mile long of reasons why they can't succeed. And every single reason points to someone or something else. But successful people, they focus on the one thing they can actually control, themselves. You see, success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. When you focus on you until you win, everything else falls into place. I'm not talking about being selfish. I'm talking about being responsible. I'm talking about understanding that your life, your results, and your future are shaped primarily by one person. Let me share something personal with you. Years ago, I was struggling financially. I was working hard, but I wasn't getting ahead. I had all these excuses lined up. The economy was bad, my employer didn't pay enough, taxes were too high, opportunities were limited in my town. I had the perfect explanation for my lack of progress. Then one day I met my mentor, and he asked me a question that changed everything. He said, if you keep living like you're living, where will you be in 5 years? The answer scared me. I'd be in exactly the same place, maybe worse. Then he said something I'll never forget. Your income can grow only to the extent that you do. That hit me like a ton of bricks. My problem wasn't the economy or my employer. My problem was me. I hadn't focused on growing myself. I hadn't invested in my skills, my knowledge, my habits, or my mindset. So I started reading books. I started attending seminars. I began associating with different people. I developed new habits. I changed my thinking. And guess what happened? My income started to change. My life started to change. Nothing in my external circumstances changed first. I changed first, then everything else followed. That's what happens when you focus on you until you win. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the architect of your circumstances. Most people have it backwards. They say, when things improve, then I'll get better. But that's not how it works. You have to get better first, then things will improve. The cost of blaming external factors is enormous. Every time you point a finger at someone else, you give away your power. Every time you blame the economy or the government or your boss or your spouse, you're saying, I'm powerless. I can't change my situation. As long as you believe that, it becomes your reality. As long as you focus on what you can't control, you remain stuck. But when you shift your focus to yourself, to what you can control, you reclaim your power. You become the driving force in your own life. Let me tell you about a study they did years ago. They found that 80 of people who were unhappy with their lives spent most of their time thinking about things they couldn't control. But 80 of people who were happy and successful spent most of their time thinking about things they could control. That's not a coincidence. That's cause and effect. So what does it really mean to focus on yourself until you win? It means focusing on 3 key areas of your life. First, it means focusing on your personal development. Your formal education might be over, but your self-education should never stop. The most valuable investment you'll ever make is the investment in yourself. In your mind, in your knowledge, in your skills. Most people work hard on their job, but don't work hard on themselves. And then they wonder why they don't get ahead. Your job pays you for your work, but the marketplace pays you for your value. So you have to constantly increase your value. Read books, listen to audio programs, attend seminars, find mentors. Do whatever it takes to grow yourself. Because your income, your relationships, your health, and your happiness can only grow to the extent that you do. I made it a practice to read at least 30 minutes every day. Over the years, that's hundreds of books, hundreds of new ideas, hundreds of new perspectives. Do you think that's made a difference in my life? You better believe it has. Second, it means focusing on your goals, not someone else's goals for you. Your goals. What do you want? Where do you want to go? Who do you want to... Most people never take the time to get clear about what they really want. They just drift through life, reacting to whatever comes their way. Then they wonder why they end up places they never intended to go. You need to set specific, measurable, time-bound goals for every important area of your life, your health, your relationships, your career, your finances, your spiritual life. Write them down. Look at them every day. Create plans to achieve them. Take consistent action on those plans. Evaluate your progress regularly. Adjust. Goals give you direction. They give you focus. They turn your life from a random walk into a purposeful journey. I remember talking to a young man who told me he wanted to be successful. I asked him, what specifically do you want to achieve? He couldn't tell me. He hadn't thought about it. He just had this vague notion of success. I told him, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. But don't be surprised if you end up somewhere you don't want to be. Third, it means focusing on your daily disciplines. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. Your life is shaped by the things you do every day, the habits you practice, the choices you make, the actions you take, not once in a while, not when you feel like it, every single day. Do you read every day? Do you exercise every day? Do you save money every day? Do you express gratitude every day? Do you work on your goals every day? The secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. Small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements gained slowly over time. Most people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. Consistency over time is the key. But let's be real. Focusing on yourself until you win isn't easy. You'll face obstacles. You'll face resistance. You'll face setbacks. There will be days when you don't feel like reading, days when you don't feel like exercising, days when you'd rather spend money than save it, days when you'd rather blame others than take responsibility. That's when your commitment gets tested. That's when you find out what you're really made of. The easy thing to do is to give up, to make excuses, to go back to blaming external circumstances. And that's exactly what most people do. But anymore, because you understand something most people don't, obstacles are not there to stop you. They're there to test how badly you want something. When you face an obstacle, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? How can I grow from this? How can I use this to become better? Every obstacle overcome makes you stronger. Every challenge conquered builds your confidence. Every setback turned into a comeback adds to your resilience. And here's something else. When you focus on yourself until you win, you don't have to worry about the competition because you're not competing with others, you're competing with the person you were yesterday. Your only objective is to be better today than you were yesterday, to know more, to develop more skills, to have better habits, to make better choices, to add more value. And when you do that consistently day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, the results are inevitable. They have to be. It's the law of sowing and reaping. You cannot sow self-improvement and reap failure. It's impossible. Now, let me tell you about something I call the compound effect. It's one of the most powerful forces in the universe, but most people completely underestimate it. The compound effect is the strategy of reaping huge rewards from small, seemingly insignificant actions. Small, smart choices, consistency tend a radical difference. If you improve yourself just one every day, after a year, you'll be 37 times better. Not 365 better, which would be impressive enough. 37 times better because of the compound effect. Most people want dramatic results right away. They want to read one book and double their income. They want to attend one seminar and solve all their problems. They want to exercise for a week and get in the best shape of their life. Life doesn't work that way. Real, lasting success is the result of consistent small actions performed over time. It's like the story of the bamboo tree. You plant the seed and water it. First year, nothing happens. Second year, nothing happens. Third year, nothing happens. Fourth year, nothing happens. Fifth year, the question is, did it grow 90 feet in 6 weeks, or did it grow 90 feet in 5 years? The answer is clear. It was growing underground, developing a root system strong enough to support its eventual growth. That's how success works. You might not see results right away. You might feel like nothing is happening. But if you keep focusing on yourself, on your personal development, on your goals, on your daily disciplines, the results will come. They have to. Another powerful benefit of focusing on yourself until you win is that you create your own economy. You become recession-proof, inflation-proof, politics-proof. Most people are at the mercy of external economic conditions. When the economy is good, they do well. When the economy is bad, they suffer. But when you focus on increasing your value, on becoming more skilled, more knowledgeable, more disciplined, you can thrive in any economy. The marketplace always rewards value, always, in good times and bad. There's never been a time in history when exceptional value went unrewarded for long. During the Great Depression, some people lost everything, but others made fortunes. The difference wasn't the economy. The economy was the same for everyone. The difference was in how they responded to the economy, in the value they created, in the solutions they provided. When you focus on you until you win, you don't wait for conditions to change. You change. And when you change, your results change regardless of external conditions. Let me tell you about personal philosophy. Your philosophy is the set of beliefs and attitudes that shape your decisions, which shape your actions, which shape your results. Most people never take the time to develop a personal philosophy. They just adopt whatever beliefs are common in their family, their community, or their culture. And then they wonder why they get the same results as everyone else. But successful people consciously develop a philosophy that supports their goals and aspirations. They question conventional wisdom. They challenge limiting beliefs. They adopt empowering perspectives. Is a key part of my personal philosophy. Circumstances don't determine outcomes. If 10 people face the same challenging circumstance, they'll respond in 10 different ways and get 10 different results. The circumstance isn't the determining factor. The response is, and your response comes from your philosophy. If your philosophy is life happens to me, you'll respond as a victim. If your philosophy is life happens through me, you'll respond as a creator. What's your philosophy about money? About work? About learning? About health? About relationships? About challenges? About success? Your philosophy in these areas is shaping your life right now, whether you're conscious of it or not. So make it conscious. Examine it, refine it, improve it. Make sure it's taking you where you want to go. Let's talk about failure, because it's something we all face when we're focusing on ourselves and trying to grow. Most people are afraid of failure. They see it as proof that they're not good enough, smart enough, or talented enough, so they avoid situations where they might fail. They stay in their comfort zone. They stick with what they know. But successful people have a completely different view of failure. They see it as feedback, not as a final verdict. They see it as a necessary step on the path to success, not as a detour from that path. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. When asked about it, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the perspective you need. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of success. It's how you learn. It's how you grow. It's how you discover what doesn't work, which brings you closer to what does work. When you focus on yourself until you win, you embrace failure. You're not reckless, but you're not paralyzed by the fear of failure either. You take calculated risks. You try new things. You step out of your comfort zone. And when you fail, because you will, we all do, you ask, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to improve? What would I do differently next time? That's how failure becomes a stepping stone to success. not a stumbling block. Now, let's discuss something that many people overlook: the power of association and environment. Jim Rohn? And yes, I know that's who I'm channeling today. Famously said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Look around you. Who are you spending time with? What are they like? What are their habits, their attitudes, their results? Because whether you realize it or not, they're influencing you. If you want to improve yourself, if you want to win, you need to be very selective about who you allow into your life, especially your inner circle. Seek out people who are where you want to be, people who will challenge you, people who will support your growth, people who will hold you accountable, and be willing to distance yourself from people who pull you down, people who are negative, people who are complacent, people who discourage your dreams. This isn't about being disloyal or thinking you're better than others. It's about understanding that environments are stronger than willpower. If you're trying to quit smoking, it's unwise to hang out with smokers. If you're trying to save money, it's unwise to hang out with big spenders. Your environment, the people, places, and things you surround yourself with should support your goals, not sabotage them. So take control of your environment. Create a space that nurtures your growth. Fill it with books, audio programs, and other resources that feed your mind. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. Remember, it's not just about removing negative influences. It's about actively seeking positive ones. As you focus on yourself until you win, you'll go through several stages of growth. Understanding these stages can help you navigate your journey. The first stage is survival. This is where many people start. They're just trying to get by. To keep a roof over their head and food on the table, their focus is on immediate needs and problems. There's nothing wrong with this stage. We all have to start somewhere, but you don't want to stay here. The second stage is stability. Here, you're meeting your basic needs consistently. You have some security, some predictability. You're not just reacting to emergencies anymore. You can start to plan. The third stage is success. You're achieving your goals. You're growing, you're making progress. You're starting to see the results of your focus on yourself. But there's a fourth stage, significance. This is where you start to focus not just on your success, but on your contribution, on the difference you make in the lives of others, on the legacy you leave. And finally, there's the fifth stage, abundance. This is where you have more than enough money, more than enough love, more than enough everything. And from this place of abundance, you can give generously. Each stage builds on the one before it. You can't skip steps. You have to go through survival to get to stability, through stability to get to success, through success to get to significance, through significance to get to abundance. And at each stage, the key is to keep focusing on yourself, on your growth, on your development, on becoming more than you are right now. Now, I want to challenge you. For the next 90 days, I want you to focus intensely on yourself, on your personal development, on your goals, on your daily disciplines. 90 days, that's all I'm asking for. 90 days of consistent, focused effort on, here's what I want you to. First, set clear, specific goals for the next 90 days. What do you want to achieve? Who do you want to become? Write it down. Second, create a personal development plan. What books will you read? What programs will you listen to? What seminars or courses will you attend? What skills will you develop? Write it down. Third, establish daily disciplines. What will you do every day to move toward your goals? How will you spend the first hour of your day? The last hour before bed? Write it down. Fourth, eliminate distractions. What's currently consuming your time and attention without adding value to your life? Television, social media, negative people? Identify these distractions and minimize them. Fifth, track your progress. Keep a journal, record what you're learning. Note your successes and failures. Reflect on your growth. 90 days, that's all I'm asking. But I promise you, if you commit to this 90-day challenge, if you really focus on yourself, on your growth, on your improvement, you'll be amazed at the results. You won't become a completely different person in 90 days, but you'll set in motion changes that will transform your life over time. Remember, the decisions you make today don't just impact today. They impact tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, and the next decade. They ripple through time, creating the future you'll eventually live in. So make good decisions. Focus on yourself. Invest in yourself. Develop yourself. Challenge yourself. Push yourself. Discipline yourself. Because when you focus on you until you win, you don't just change your life. You change the lives of everyone around you. Your family, your friends, your colleagues, your community. Success isn't just personal, it's relational. The better you become, the more you have to offer others. The more value you create, the more value you can share. That's why focusing on yourself isn't selfish. It's the most selfless thing you can do, because you can't give what you don't have. You can't share wisdom you haven't acquired. You can't offer strength you haven't developed. You can't provide value you haven't created. So focus on you until you win. Not so you can hoard your success, but so you can multiply it, so you can leave a legacy that outlasts you, so you can make a difference that extends beyond your lifetime. Your life matters. Your choices matter. Your growth matters. Your success matters. Not just for you, but for everyone whose life you touch. And it all starts with a decision to take responsibility for your life, a decision to stop blaming external circumstances, a decision to focus on the one person you can actually change, yourself. Make that decision today. Right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when circumstances improve. Decide that from this moment forward, you will focus on you until you win. You will invest in yourself. You will develop yourself. You will challenge yourself. You will push yourself beyond your current limitations. Decide that you will no longer wait for conditions to change, but instead, you will change. You will grow. You will improve. You will become more valuable. Decide that you will no longer be a victim of circumstances, but instead, you will be the architect of your circumstances. You will create your own economy. You will shape your own future. Decide that failure will no longer stop you, but instead it will teach you. It will strengthen you. It will bring you closer to success. Decide that obstacles will no longer defeat you, but instead they will challenge you. They will reveal what you're made of. They will show you what you're capable of. This decision to focus on you until you win is the most important decision you'll ever make, because it sets in motion all the other decisions that will shape your life. So make it now, commit to it now, and then back it up with immediate action. Read a book, set a goal, establish a discipline, eliminate a distraction, whatever it takes to start the process of focusing on yourself. And remember, this isn't a one-time decision. It's a decision you'll need to make again tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. Every day, you'll need to choose again to focus on yourself, to invest in yourself, to develop yourself. But with each choice, it gets easier. With each day of focus, you grow stronger. With each step forward, the path becomes clearer. And before you know it, you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. You'll look in the mirror and barely recognize the person you used to be. You'll look at your life and marvel at the transformation, all because you made one powerful decision: to focus on you until you win. Your future is not determined by your past. It's not limited by your current circumstances. It's not defined by what others think of you or say about you. Your future is created by the person you're becoming today, by the choices you're making now, by the focus you're placing on yourself right now. So focus on you. Focus on your growth. Focus on your development. Focus on your improvement. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. And keep focusing on you until you win, until you achieve your goals, until you fulfill your potential, until you create the life you desire and deserve. Because you can. You absolutely can. If others have done it and they have, so can you. There's nothing magical about successful people. They're human, just like you. They have strengths and weaknesses, just like you. They face challenges and obstacles, just like you. The difference is their focus. They focus on themselves, on their growth, on their improvement, on becoming more than they are, and that's what I'm challenging you to do. Focus on you until you win, not because you're selfish, but because you're responsible. Not because you don't care about others, but because you understand that the best way to help others is to first help yourself, to become the strongest, wisest, most capable version of yourself, to create value that you can then share. So focus on you, invest in yourself, develop yourself, challenge yourself, push yourself, discipline yourself. And don't stop until you win, until you achieve your goals, until you fulfill your potential, until you create the life you desire and deserve. Because that's what life is all about. Not just surviving, but thriving. Not just existing, but living fully. Not just getting by, but excelling. Not just being average, but being exceptional. And it all starts with one simple decision: to focus on you until you make that decision today. Make it now, and then back it up with immediate action, with consistent effort, with unwavering commitment. Focus on you until you win, and you will win. It's inevitable. It's the law of cause and effect. When you focus on yourself, on your growth, your development, your improvement, success isn't just possible, it's predictable. So focus on you and keep focusing on you, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, until you win. And even then, don't stop, because there's always another level, always another goal, always another mountain to climb, always another way to grow, to improve, to develop, to contribute. Life isn't about reaching a destination. It's about the journey, about growing, about becoming, about stretching yourself, about discovering what you're capable of. So focus on you. Not just until you win once, but until winning becomes your way of life, until growth becomes your normal, until continuous improvement becomes your habit. Because that's when life gets really exciting. That's when you discover what you're truly capable of. That's when you make your biggest contribution. That's when you leave your most significant legacy. So focus on you until you win. And then keep focusing on you. Keep growing, keep improving, keep developing. Because the person you become is your most valuable asset, your greatest gift to the world. Focus on you until you win. And then keep focusing on you until you win again, and again, and again. Until winning, growing, improving, developing, contributing becomes who you are. That's my challenge to you. That's my encouragement to you. That's my belief in you. You can do this. You can focus on yourself until you win. You can grow. You can improve. You can develop. You can achieve your goals. You can fulfill your potential. You can create the life you desire and deserve. All it takes is focus. Focus on you. Focus on your growth. Focus on your development. Focus on your improvement. Focus on you until you win. And you will win. I promise you that. You will win.